So we have from the Dartmouth Family Centre, Deborah McGee. Come on up.
Thank you. It's nice to be back. A little less nerve-wracking this time. So for those of you who don't know, Dartmouth Family Centre is a family resource center that's been around for 20 years. We work in the area of Dartmouth North, located on Outer Lake Road. And recently, just over this past year, we've opened a second site. And that second site is a community food center. So we recognized as Dartmouth Family Centre that there were still a lot of needs in the community that we couldn't meet, and we really wanted to attempt to do something about food insecurity in the community. So we were fortunate to be able to partner with Community Food Centres Canada, and over several years developed this community food center. So at the food center we do a variety of things. We really approach food insecurity at a variety of levels. So one of those is access to healthy food. So we create better access in the community. We really attempt to build capacity in the community, so within individuals in terms of cooking and growing food. So we do a lot of community kitchens, and we have a lot of ways that people can be involved as volunteers. And then we also try to increase civic engagement, so helping people to understand those broader systems of poverty and food insecurity and what they might be able to do to take action on that. So we sort of have these three levels, but when I came to 100 Women last time, we were really looking for greater support with our children's cooking programs. So we do a variety of cooking programs, and one of them is called Food and Families Together. So this is a program for parents with their children who are 2 and 5 years old, or 2 to 5 years old. And the idea is that parents come with their children, they prepare a meal. Once the children, depending on age, are sort of done with the food prep, they go into our childcare space with our staff, and the parents finish off the meal. And then they all come together again at the end. So it's really about modeling to parents how you can get kids involved in the kitchen. This is one of our recent sessions, so you can see they can be very young and be involved. So there's a little one in a high chair booster seat there who's helping to prepare some food. A lot of the times we hear that parents are worried about the mess in their kitchen and that sort of thing, so they do really appreciate the chance to come out to the center and have a bit of staff support in terms of cleaning up messes and getting ingredients organized and that sort of thing. So this little guy, we do try to really let them have some independence in food prep. Our childcare staff will say it's amazing that kids, as they, even at this young age, as they start to get a little bit older, how confident they become in food prep. You wouldn't think necessarily, but they are actually really capable when given the chance. There's another little one, learning about measuring ingredients. And then, of course, the best part is getting to the what you make at the end. So that's always a lot of fun as well. One of the other pictures there, I don't know if you can really see it, but we do provide them with lettuce knives. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they're kind of very sturdy plastic, large knives. It would be really hard to cut your fingers with it, but they're sturdy enough that they can cut hard things like apples and potatoes and that sort of thing. So it's a really great way to get young children involved right from the beginning. So just like they need to be independent in preparing food sometimes or have that guidance, it's also fun to just get your hands in there and be independent when you're eating too. From that age group, then we do a cooking program called Young Cooks. And this is for children 6 to 11. And we do take some children outside that age, but it just depends. So the children start coming after school, independent of their parents. We try to incorporate a lot of different activities, so baking activities, cooking activities. We prepare everything from scratch, and of course it's always healthy foods. So they're really getting used to different types of ingredients. So we might do a theme where we're using sweet potatoes. So in this picture, they are using sweet potatoes. Recently, they made sweet potato macaroni and cheese, which you wouldn't think necessarily goes together, but it was really delicious. So it's just a way to incorporate, some healthier options in that. But they'll make sweet potato salad. They might do sweet potato fries. So just really learning with basic ingredients, how do you use those ingredients in a number of different ways, and becoming familiar with those ingredients. And this shot shows you a little bit of what the space looks like too. In our new space, we have, it's quite a large space, so we can really accommodate bigger groups, which is great. I will say with this program, we try to have a 1-to-3 ratio. So we do utilize volunteers quite a bit, and we do that because I think it's a really great way for them to learn. So they might be actually using real chef knives at this age, and it's important for them to have that close supervision. This was the kids in our big fridge before we had racks in our fridge, and everybody thought it was pretty neat to go in the fridge and stand there and be cold. One of the things that we always talk about is making healthy food the norm. So when children come to the center, you can always tell after a few times they've been there, they don't even question it anymore. You just get a plate of chopped vegetables and some good hummus, and that's your snack. So it's really nice that there's this place that's sort of protected from junk food, which is everywhere in our culture, and they learn to enjoy it. They're acquiring new tastes all the time, and we're always trying new ingredients. The little girl here, she's chopping herbs. I think it's basil, so learning about fresh basil. Our food skills coordinator will really talk to the children about the ingredients, get them to smell the ingredients, talk about how they think it might grow, maybe show pictures of how it's growing before they use it, and taste it in recipes and that sort of thing. And here's another shot. You can see, these kids are learning about chopping really small and mincing, so we talk a lot about those different cooking skills. This little guy on the right is, he's gotten quite good at using the big chef knife, and, some people were very hesitant, I guess, to give him a chef knife, but he's really responsible, and that's the thing about kids this age. If you, show that you have that, confidence in them, they live up to it, which is really great. The other little girl, she spent a lot of time doing presentation of her food, so we do talk about that too, how it's nice to have nicely presented food, and how can we get creative with that. We do try to have groups of different ages so that there can be a bit of scaffolding in terms of learning. So we might pair an 11-year-old with a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old in one group of 3, and they can help each other learn and support each other. And the older kids gain some leadership skills through that as well. And here's one little one with, I don't know how well you can see that picture, but she has a fistful of cucumber and a mouthful of broccoli. So again, just an example of making that really good food the norm in our environment. So beyond that, engaging youth and beyond 12 years, we're sort of working towards that and having something a little more formal for that age. But at 12 years old, they are invited to come and be a volunteer. So this girl, she's actually 14 now, but we do have somebody who's just started as a 12-year-old. And she actually comes and volunteers on Saturday at our Good Food Cafe. So she's paired with another volunteer, and they're making, this day they were making quiche together. And this other volunteer actually, you know, sort of said she adopted her. She's her honorary granddaughter, which is really nice. So we're really hoping to be able to do more of that kind of thing. But I will say, you know, our Young Cooks program, when we were sort of estimating the cost of that, the cost of food and buying and replacing equipment on a regular basis, buying the materials for the children, we always do nice binders for them with recipes so that they can take home. The cost of staffing for that program and the facility was about $25,000 for a year. So it was really great to have the support of 100 women, because that carries this program through almost for the entire year and allows us to engage quite a few kids in that 6 to 11-year-old age range. So again, I just really appreciate it, and I want to thank everybody for their support.